Hi Taurus, welcome to your love reading. Thanks for joining me. Also welcome cross watchers, okay? General and collective messages. Let's see what love messages want to come out for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. What do we need to know for Taurus? What are the love messages for Taurus? Okay. So maybe somebody's being cold. Maybe somebody's got their guard up. Maybe somebody's a bit defensive. Maybe they're struggling financially. Okay, so as I said, somebody could be shut off emotionally, and you know, like I said, they're a bit defensive, a bit angry. You know, maybe money is a sensitive issue right now. So we've got the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands so far. Okay, so maybe somebody feels left out in the cold, or is being cold towards somebody here. So we've got Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy here. Okay, you could be overworked, you could be stressed. Okay. There's a lot trying to come out here. Okay. Tell more about this Five of Pentacles and Nine of Wands. Someone's definitely got their guard up. Maybe money's a sensitive issue. There could be a lot of financial struggles going on, you know. People losing their job, people struggling financially, worrying about when they're going to go back to work. You know, this is very much poverty, homelessness, but yeah. I do feel someone here's got their guard up. Okay, so you've got the World. Again, you've got a bit of Leo there, got a bit of Taurus. You could be dealing with an earth sign. Why does the World card come? Why is the World card here? Is there unfinished business? Is someone struggling to find their centre? Okay, so you've got the Fool. Aquarius energy. Why is the Fool on the World here? Could be having a new beginning with something. Ah, okay, so we've got the Lovers, Gemini energy. Could possibly be a twin flame connection. Ah, okay, could be a past person coming back, taking a leap of faith. Maybe, like I said, there's unfinished business here. So we've got the twin flame card here, the Lovers. Okay, also this is about choices. This is about decisions. You know, that whole twin flame dynamic thing. Six of Cups. So we've got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. Okay, water energy. So this is nostalgia. This is the soulmate card. This is, you know, thinking about someone from your past. Maybe somebody was closed off emotionally, cold towards you, didn't show you any love, didn't show you any emotion. And maybe someone from the past is coming back to take that leap of faith. Maybe there's unfinished business. Maybe they had to find their centre and feel grounded, you know, before they come towards you. Maybe there's financial commitments or problems that they had to deal with, you know. But I do feel that you are thinking about someone from your past. Somebody from your past wants to come back. Maybe they are getting ready to make their move, you know, at the right time, coming up with a strategy here. Okay, you could, you know, complete each other, you know, the twin flame dynamic. Yeah, maybe it's your destiny to be with this person. This is very much, you know, thinking about someone, dreaming about someone from the past, feeling connected to someone from your past, and someone from your past wants to come back and take the leap of faith, you know, and embrace change and embrace their destiny and have a new start with you. That's what I can see so far here. Okay, it looks like somebody wants to come back and sort things out, peaceful resolution, compromise. I feel that you are equals with this person. It looks like a twin flame soulmate connection. Okay, but maybe in the past somebody was immature, foolish. Maybe they had to cut their losses with something. With this Strength card, this is Leo, and then again Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. So it looks like you could be dealing with someone that had a sort of an ego problem, that always had to be right, that wasn't fighting fair. Like I said, they were closed off emotionally, they were cold towards you, you know, and very much just never admitting, you know, that they're in the wrong. They always have to be right, a bit of an arrogant energy, you know. The Six of Swords is, you know, someone that always has to be right, and they're arrogant, and that, you know, they need to cut their losses with something. They need to surrender. They need to admit defeat. You know, it's like this person, I don't know, I just feel I'm getting this sort of vibe that you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just feel that this person's kind of arrogant. As I said, they could have been foolish in the past, you know. There could be strength testing going on, challenges going on in your life, but there could be, you know, challenges going on in your person's life as well. You know, maybe they need to surrender their ego, maybe they need to let go of an old way of life, you know. Maybe they need to strengthen their soul with more compassion and more positivity, and, you know, show more emotion and not be so guarded and cold and closed off, because I definitely feel someone here has got their guard up here. Okay, I do feel that you've got quite a strong bond with this connection, you know, with this Strength card. You know, it's quite a powerful bond that you've got. You know, and I do feel that you are each other's strengths. You know, I feel like you complete each other. This is definitely a twin flame connection here. Anyone on the Six of Swords and the Strength card. Okay, the Empress. This is Divine Feminine energy. Also, there could have been outside influences. Maybe somebody's mum, you know, was interfering in the connection and it didn't really get a chance to sort of hit it off, you know. But this is Divine Feminine energy, so this tells me, like I said, twin flame dynamic. Okay, someone that's very kind, very serene, very nurturing, very graceful, very loving, compassionate. She, you know, she's very in tune with her intuition. She's very in tune with her emotions, in tune with nature, you know. This is about being creative, you know, giving birth to new ideas, you know, giving into your creative urges. This is passion, you know. Again, Taurus and Pisces energy. She's ruled by Venus, which is all about love and sexuality, and, you know, some of you could be expecting here. Tell me more about this Empress. Tell me more about this Empress. Empress and the Strength and Six of Swords. Maybe somebody was very conflicted and they had to sort their head out with the Six of Swords. Like I said, there was something that they needed to surrender. This person definitely had communication problems, I feel. Because the cards taking a while to come out. So they're not always big on emotions, and, you know, this could be you, Divine Feminine energy, okay? Then we've got Judgment. So it's like somebody's got something to say here. They could be going through their own sort of spiritual awakening, going through their own judgment here, making a judgment call, making a choice, making a decision. So it's like somebody here wants to save a union. Someone here's got something to say. As I said, spiritual awakening, a bit of ascension here, and going through changes here. You've got the Fool there as well. So this person could be really embracing change. You know, in the past, I feel that this person was quite non-committal. They could have been in another relationship, they could have been in another commitment, you know, and that's what could have caused, you know, the obstacle between you. But I do feel that this person or you are definitely going with your, you know, your gut instincts on this one. You know, this is about self-control, this is about resilience and perseverance. But, you know, when I see the Strength card, it makes me feel, you know, this confidence. You know, maybe this person doesn't feel confident enough, or doesn't feel that they haven't got much to offer you right now. You know, this is about boundaries as well. Maybe somebody's standing their ground, maybe they're setting boundaries. You know, maybe you've got something to say, maybe you want to speak your truth. But someone definitely wants to come back and take that leap of faith and have a new start with you. Reawaken a connection. It's like somebody's soul has woken up here. Okay? Their spirit's woken up and they're making a judgment call. Okay? Who you are destined to be with, where you're in a twin flame connection with. Okay, tell me more about this Judgment card and this Empress. Tell me more of this Judgment card. Okay, Nine of Swords. Again, we've got air energy. Why does the Nine of Swords come out? This person could still be battling some sort of challenges, some sort of demons, some sort of anxiety, some sort of fear. Because my throat chakra is just blocked just there. This person could be in quite a dark place at the moment. You know, they're feeling a bit hopeless and, you know, quite conflicted. They've got a lot of demons. Also, this is about someone that's got a guilty conscience as well. They're suffering with anxiety. Okay, they've got a guilty conscience. Maybe they don't know how to approach you. That's why they've sort of got their guard up here. But then again, that's fire energy, so it could be you. Okay, so it does look like somebody wants to come towards you. So you could be dealing with a water sign that wants to come back. Okay, there could have been a third party situation. There could be financial struggles going on, and that's why they haven't come towards you and offered you their cup of love. You know, or it could be a new person coming in. But because there's water here, water energy here as well, I do feel here that you are dealing with someone from your past. You had something with someone from your past. There was a connection, there was chemistry, but maybe because you was both in other commitments and it didn't have time to sort of, you know, sort of hit it off the ground because you was both in other commitments, you know. So we've got the Knight of Cups there, Pisces energy. Okay, someone that's very romantic, very dreamy, you know, big on traveling. So maybe somebody wants to come towards you, give you their cup of love. This could be you as well, you know, maybe you are missing them. Maybe you wish that they would reach out. You wish that they would show you more love, show you more emotion, and not be so cold and closed off emotionally, especially if somebody's got their guard up here with the Nine of Wands and being defensive. Okay, let me just get a bit more on this Knight of Cups. And around this Knight of Cups and this Nine of Swords. Nine of Cups and Nine of Swords. Definitely some sort of strength testing going on, some sort of lesson learning. Yeah, still battling demons here. Okay. And around this Knight of Cups and this Nine of Swords. So you've got a lot of, well, I would say, I do feel this is all the same person. So you have got a past person coming back here to offer you their cup of love. Okay, a love offer, I know, a proposal, an opportunity. He's very romantic. Okay. Okay. They're doing a lot of thinking at the moment, a lot of reevaluating the situation, a lot of thinking here with the Seven of Pentacles. You know, and they just wonder, you know, should I keep going? Should I persevere? You know, and the Strength card is saying to this person, you know, just keep going, you know, persevere, don't give up. You know, they're definitely going through their own judgment here. This could be their own inner voice that they're listening to here at the moment. You know, maybe they're gaining clarity in a situation. That's why they're so cold and closed off at the moment. But there's a lot of thinking going on here. Look, as I said, strength testing. They're battling some sort of inner demon, some sort of turmoil, you know, especially with this Judgment card. This tells me, you know, they're really listening or talking to their subconscious. You know, maybe they've got an ego problem, you know, they could have had other lovers, maybe they were involved in a third party situation. That's very much a possibility here. Okay, tell me more about the Seven of Pentacles and this Knight of Cups. They might want to come towards you, give you a gift. Maybe they've got another lover, you know. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Swords. So if it's not your energy, it could be a person's energy, like I said. Someone here is being quite cold and quite guarded, right? Now, the Queen of Swords can be quite cold. You know, she doesn't really show compassion. You know, she doesn't really show forgiveness, you know, or emotion or love, you know. She knows who she can trust and who she can't. Someone here has definitely got their guard up here, okay? Could be third party situation. Okay, so this Queen of Swords though, she does have an active mind. She's all about the logic, she's all about the reason, you know, and you know, she's a decision maker. You know, swords are about decision making and choices and, you know, victory. And you know, the Queen of Swords, like I said, she's kind of a widow. You know, she likes to be on her own, and you know, someone here is definitely juggling more than one lover here. Okay. Tell me more about the Queen of Swords. Tell me more about this Queen of Swords. She's got a very active mind, you know. She's all about the decision making. Tell me more on this Queen of Swords. Maybe somebody won't surrender a third party situation, but someone's definitely having trouble communicating something. Either you're having trouble communicating or your person is having trouble communicating. And someone's got a guilty conscience with this Nine of Swords. They're not sleeping, they've got anxiety, they've got insomnia, and they're just feeling very hopeless. Okay, you know, because the blocked throat chakra. Okay. Anyone on this Queen of Swords? Queen of Swords, Knight of Cups. Anyone on this Queen of Swords? Yeah, there's a lot of decision making going on here. There's a lot of decision making going on. You're definitely dealing with an air sign. There's quite a lot of energies here. It's like maybe they're struggling to make a conscious decision or to think rational, you know, because the Judgment card is about choices as well, you know, making the correct judgment call. You know, maybe they feel that they haven't got much to offer you right now with this Five of Pentacles. But with this Page of Swords, you know, someone here's definitely got their guard up here. It could be you. So say if somebody from your past tries to come back here to offer you their cup of love and, you know, try to say sorry or put things right or surprise you, you know, with this proposal, this romantic gesture, I feel that, you know, you've got your guard up here with this Page of, you know, this Page of Swords. He's the observer, he's the watcher, you know. There could be people around you or people around your person gossiping, talking about them. So you just have to be vigilant. Be careful what you put on social media. You know, someone could be watching you on social media. There is definitely someone here that definitely overthinks a situation and can't seem to make the correct judgment call, and then they sort of get themselves in this Nine of Swords state. You know, their mental state isn't good. You know, someone here needs to gain some sort of mental clarity here as well, especially if you're dealing with an air sign. You know, they tend to weigh up the pros and cons and can be a bit indecisive, air signs. You know, maybe this person's waiting for the right time to let their guard down so they can be fearless and strong and powerful when they come towards you, to communicate, to come in with their sword of truth, you know, and, you know, make an announcement here with this judgment call, you know. But there is a bit of anxiety here, there is a bit of overthinking a situation, and someone here is struggling to let their guard down and show love and show compassion and sort of, you know, like I said, take that leap of faith. Maybe they're having a hard time grounding themselves and, you know, feeling whole and feeling complete. This could be you. You're on top of the world, you're powerful, you're confident, you know, you are elegant and beauty, you know, here with this World card. You know, you could be the centre of this person's world, right? But I do feel there is unfinished business here with this past person. Why has the Page of Swords come up here? Why has the Page of Swords come up? Page of Swords, why did it come up? Okay. So maybe in the past they walked away and maybe they feel regretful. Yeah, this could be you. Maybe you're walking away. Maybe you've had enough of waiting around for this person. So you've put your guard up here. Okay. So we have got this Six of Swords. Five of Swords, Six of Swords, right. Definitely dealing with an air sign. So there's definitely something here that someone needs to surrender. It could be a third party situation. Okay, there's something here that they need to let go, or that they need to walk away, that doesn't serve them anymore. Because, you know, the Six of Swords is unloading, offloading baggage and letting go of conflict and anything that restricts you or that holds you back. Walking away from toxic waters and going towards calmer waters, you know. So, if, you know, it's a matter of this person finding the inner strength and inner courage, if this is the case, to do that. To cut their losses and walk away. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're overthinking the situation and causing themselves a great deal of stress. Yeah? Maybe you won't let your guard down here until you know that they're 100%, you know, cut ties. It's like they're breaking ties from something and walking away, or they're trying to do that. I definitely feel there's some sort of third party situation going on here, because there's two females. It could all be the same person. Maybe your person is quite stubborn. This could be your energy if you're a divine feminine. Like I said, the Empress is divine feminine energy. This is a twin flame connection. There's some sort of third party situation that they need to surrender. Tell me more about the Six of Swords. Tell me more about the Six of Swords here. Yeah, somebody who wants to communicate, but they tend to overthink a situation. Look, Page of Wands, got fire energy. You've got Sagittarius energy there. Okay, so it could be you. You could be overthinking a situation, causing yourself to be anxious. You could be waiting for them to communicate, right? This is someone that is very passionate and very fiery and likes to travel. Okay, so I do feel that they want to talk to you here. Okay, someone from the past definitely is trying to come back into your life. Now, the reason they haven't took this leap of faith yet and come back yet is because they tend to overthink a situation, and there's something here that they need to surrender. If not their ego, then it's some sort of demons, some sort of obstacles, some sort of challenges here, or like I said, third party situation. So it looks like they're trying to come back. Look, they're thinking about it. So you will be getting communication from this person, you know, forward notion, you know, movement, progress. They want to send you a message, you know, they want to take action towards you, you know, communicate, ring you, text you, email you, you know. But there's someone's definitely watching someone's social media here with this Page of Swords, you know. But I think that what's going on here, and the reason why someone is being cold and closed off and got their guard up here, or leaving someone out in the cold, this could have happened in the past. They walked away, went to someone else, left you in the cold, out in the cold, and now they want to come back in from the cold to put things right. And they tend to overthink a situation. There's a lot of thinking, reevaluating, reconsidering, you know. They're sort of reminiscing about their actions, and you know. Anyone on this Page of Wands? Anyone on this Page of Wands? Anyone on this Page of Wands? What a strong bond that you've got with this person. I feel that they have trouble communicating because of my throat. Okay. They could just be keeping an eye on you on social media, yeah. Reminiscing about the past, dreaming about you. You know, like I said, the Knight of Cups is quite dreamy, especially if you're dealing with a Pisces. You know that the water signs are very in tune with their emotions. They're very emotional, very sensitive. You know, and they will talk to you, you know, in their own time. Anyone on this Page of Wands? So it looks like someone's carrying around a lot of feelings, a lot of affection, a lot of love for you, you know, and they feel a bit stuck. Okay, whether it be a third party situation, which I feel that it is. Okay, 10 of Wands. Again, fire energy. This could be your energy. So someone's definitely carrying around a lot of burdens, a lot of stresses, a lot of anxiety. So there is something here that they need to surrender, because this is a strength beyond one's, you know, a burden beyond one's strength. You know, this type of situation here, because there's a lot of swords here, is really testing someone's limits here. Okay, strength testing. Okay, so if this person is a little bit defensive, it's because they're going through some sort of transition, some sort of change. Maybe they're resisting change, ascension. There is something here that they need to put right with you, but there is something here that they need to walk away from and cut their losses and walk away, like I said, surrender. And I believe that they are struggling to do that. Okay. They look very tired here as well, you know, carrying around all these wands. It's like someone just won't, you know, surrender, admit defeat, cut their losses, walk away. Maybe they've got codependency problems, you know, maybe they've got, you know, obligations with this person. This person might be a little bit immature, you know, a bit childlike, as I said. In the past, they could be a bit foolish. Okay. Anyone on this 10 of Wands, it's like they're too proud. It's a pride thing. They're too proud to ask for help. They'd rather just struggle. You know, they can never be wrong. It's a pride thing. Anyone on this 10 of Wands? So we have got the 3 of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So they could be in another commitment, third party situation. The Queen of Swords can be quite manipulative, quite demanding. So maybe she's not having it. Maybe she's not letting them go because she knows that, you know, they're in love with you and they want to come towards you. So this could be a karmic person, a karmic relationship that they're in, and they don't know how to get out of it. Yeah, she could have a bee in her bonnet, you know, she's not having it. Yeah, this person might want to come towards you and start this new relationship and build things with you. You know, we make a great team. You know, we are one, we are equals. Ace of Cups is about being overflowed with passion and, you know, love and affection, and just overwhelmed, you know, with emotion, and you just don't know what to do. They're carrying around all this love, and, you know. Okay, so there's definitely some sort of third party situation going on. You know, I do feel this person's carrying a lot of love for you, a lot of passion, a lot of affection, a lot of feelings, chemistry. You know, it's all just come swimming back. Like I said, there's unfinished business. They want to start this new relationship with you. They want to offer you commitment, stability. Okay, because of the surrounding cards here as well, I do feel there's some sort of third party situation going on. As I said, if they've stayed so long, it could have been the fact that they are being manipulated, codependency, or the person around them is not having it. She won't let them go. Okay. They could be around an air sign, earth sign, water sign. I'd say air sign because of this Queen of Swords. Also with this Three of Pentacles. Anyone with Three of Pentacles and this Ace of Cups, they need to end something with you in order to come towards you and start a new relationship with you. They need to end another commitment that they're in. Okay, because there's two energies here. We've got divine feminine energy, then we've got this Queen of Swords. There's definitely some other commitment that they are in, you know, other obligations. They're in another commitment, another relationship, and it doesn't look like they're happy. Look, and they want to walk away to come towards you. Ace of Cups is new starts, new beginnings. You know, this person feels inspired by you. They feel motivated by you. I feel that you give them strength. You know, this person's big on security, big on building, could be doing a lot of manifesting. This is what's going on in their heart space with this Ace of Cups. Okay, strong water energy. So I do feel that this is being manifested in their heart space. Okay, being very creative. They are manifesting you, or trying to, but there's something here that they need to cut their losses with and walk away from, because it's causing them a great deal of stress. It could be a toxic third party situation, but they are definitely in another commitment with an air sign, a fire sign, or an earth sign here. Okay, and I do feel that this person's heart's desire is for this new start with you, and for this new relationship to sort of materialize into reality here. Okay, so they are trying to manifest you, regardless whether they're in a third party situation or not. It doesn't look like they're happy. So they're rethinking, look, they're reconsidering. If they've stayed for so long, it could be out of codependency, or the fact that they needed to gain clarity. Because when you gain clarity, it really sort of helps you to open up your, you know, your senses and your chakras, and, you know, your soul wakes up and your spirit wakes up, and you gain perspective to what's most important to you and what's closest to your heart's desire. This person's craving change, something new. Okay, because wherever they are, they want to walk away. They're not happy. This other commitment that they're in. Okay, and then we're on the Four of Wands and Three of Pentacles. Four of Wands and Three of Pentacles. They could be around someone, you know, that is very materialistic and greedy and obsessed with power and money, and someone here could be very money orientated, right? Maybe they've got children with their person. Like I said, there's definitely another commitment going on here, another relationship. Definitely balancing another person.